United Nations agencies and programs, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of the meeting, which over 48 hours has allowed us to hear very informative presentations and to have lively and fruitful discussions. The committee had productive discussions with a number of experts as well as with other participants. There was also a visit by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the host country, Belgium, and I would like to emphasize that the committee delegation is very pleased with the proceedings of this meeting. Tomorrow, here at 9:30, the committee delegation will hold consultations with civil society organizations active on the question of Palestine. We hope to see all the NGO representatives that are registered there, as well as others. I now give the floor to His Excellency Ambassador Mansour of the State of Palestine for his concluding remarks. Ambassador, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And allow me at the beginning, on behalf of the Palestinian people and their leadership, and also my colleagues who came from Palestine, including two ministers, whom we are very grateful for their participation with us, to say to the committee and to you, Mr. Chairman, and to my colleagues who came from New York, how grateful we are for organizing this very important meeting in Brussels at this critical moment. We also would like to thank, the division for all of their efforts for making this meeting a successful one. Allow me also to express our gratitude to a group of outstanding experts who have covered so many different subjects related to this issue, spanning the legal to the political, to the concrete, to the feelings, to the frustration that my colleagues who came from occupied Palestine, to reflect the accurate mood of our people and our leadership, that there is tremendous amount of frustration that this occupation lasted for way, way too long without seeing an end at the end of the tunnel. I am sure that every and each one of you do understand that frustration. We are not here in order really to create additional issues and problems. We have tremendous amount of pain. We don't need to add additional pains. Nor the issue that was maybe expressed by some of my colleagues and people from Palestine with our friends who are trying their best from Israel to do something, and also they have their own frustration. The issue is not them. The issue is occupation. The issue is ending that occupation. So we are not trying to create additional fictitious people who are not in our camps. We need each and every one inside Israel, outside Israel, in Europe, in all corners of the globe, to be with us as partner in order really to deal with this very horrific, tragic situation of ending this occupation and attaining the independence of our people and our state. Let me also express our gratitude and thanks to the OIC and to the League of Arab States. We are in the business of expanding our partnership. We need everyone. We are just a small country and small, number of people in comparison to many other countries. We need everyone. We need help. And when I say that we need everyone, because all of you decided in 1947 to bring the issue to the United Nations, instead of England throwing the keys and saying, I'm giving the Palestinian people independence, England decided to throw the keys in the lap of the UN, and the UN, instead of throwing the keys back at them and telling them, give them independence, they qualified from 1922 as Class A to have independence. The United Nations decided to deal with that issue for the first time in its life. So since you decided to deal with our issue, Since 1947, you are not going but to be involved in our issue until we resolve it from all of its aspects. We are in it together. You cannot say that this is only your issue, including the Israelis. We are in it all together, and we are not going to end it until we resolve the question of Palestine from all of its aspects. So therefore, we are grateful for all those who have participated with us, including my understanding that there are many from the countries of the European Union, and I see a gentleman, from Belgium, whom we had meeting earlier with him in the Foreign Ministry with his colleagues, and he is with us. And I was watching him. He took plenty of notes. And I hope that all of you took lots of notes, report back to your capitals, and we need to deal with this issue as you know, in a collective manner. And we need solutions. Now, why are we here in Brussels? And where do we go from here? We are in Brussels because, as many of you who have given us fabulous presentations with strong arguments, whether in the legal side or in the dangerous political side, we are saying now we are at a very critical moment. And that is an accurate assessment. Why are we at a critical moment? There is nothing positive in the Middle East for us. The political process is dead. Gaza in jail. Jerusalem, the heart of our nation, is being cut off from the rest of the body. And Israeli settler violence has been elevated into terrorism by the admission of the Israeli leaders. There is nothing positive about this ugly picture. That is a good reason for the tremendous amount of frustration among the Palestinian people, among the Palestinian leadership, among the president of the Palestinian state, President Mahmoud Abbas. And in that gloomy picture, where we are on the brink of being pushed, if we look around us in the Middle East, ISIS and the likes, you look at Syria, you look at Iraq, you look at Libya, you look at Yemen, and we are insisting that we don't want to descend in that direction. Although there are extremists on our side and extremists on the other side who are trying to push us to go in that direction. So why we are here? You are the capital, the political capital of Europe. We're coming to you at this particular moment to help everyone and maybe to take the lead. If you want, politically, we admire the decision of France to have an independent role. We are not discussing the details of the French initiative, nor we are negotiating team here to start fighting with each other over where the borders are, whether there is going to be swap or not. That is not the place for it. Although you have the right, each and every one of you, to scream in a different way about different issues. But that is not the objective of this meeting. The objective of this meeting, twofold. One, and then they are intertwined and interconnected. One is to try to support political efforts that could possibly move things in the direction of ending the occupation within reasonable amount of time and allowing the state of Palestine to be independent and to save the two-state solution. In that regard, the French initiative, we welcomed it. But you Europeans rally around it and give it your unanimous support. And don't give me a rough time in New York that you like unity to abstain on the question of raising the flag, which is a simple thing. Rally around the French initiative and maintain your unity there, and you can afford to have a split over voting in favor of raising the Palestinian flag, simply because it is keeping the hope alive with the Palestinian people. Help our people to stay in the realm of believing in the UN, in believing in peace, in believing in negotiation. Don't push them in the opposite direction. And here I'm speaking to our friends, the Europeans. But the bigger issue, rally around the French initiative. Make it an initiative to reflect the position of all of the Europeans. And we went recently to Moscow for the same objective, to hopefully try to set the stage for a political possibility to move in a concrete, serious way within a limited period of time to end the occupation. Okay, so that's politically. But in order to open the door for a meaningful political process, there is a huge illegal obstacle. And that huge illegal obstacle is settlements. On the issue of settlements, we appreciate what the Europeans are doing, the differentiation, the guidelines, even the labeling, although it's modest. It signals understanding in Europe that there has to be different approach to this issue and not business as usual. That's why we are here in Brussels and why we are here now. If we collectively do not find a way to bring this monster into control now, beginning by a modest request to stop it. Although I said that there are Security Council resolutions that calls for dismantling it and getting rid of it. We are saying, let's stop it. Give us the signal that there is a beginning of shift in the thinking of Israel to end occupation. That is the meaning of stopping settlements. If we do not succeed now in stopping settlement activities, we are not going to open the door for a meaningful political process. That's the dialectical relationship between the two of them. And we need to find ways, whether they are political, legal, we are in the ICC, and the ICC and the prosecutor has to conclude her examination very quickly, especially on the settlement front. We need to find all the possible way to stop settlement activities. And then, if the US administration is not going to act responsibly to allow the settlements to stop, to contribute to that effort, and to open doors for a political process to end the occupation within a reasonable amount of time, if they don't like that, they don't want the Security Council to play a role. I know that the Europeans are not going to do it without the United States, because the French and all of them and other members of the Security Council, they say that without the United States, we are not going to push anything in the Security Council. So if the US, if they say we don't want to allow the Security Council to shoulder its responsibility, we have Plan B. Let us have an international conference to implement the Arab Peace Initiative. But if they tell us Plan A no, or Plan B no, they need to tell us exactly what they are doing. What are they going to suggest for us to do? Because we will not accept, nothing will be done, wait till the election and after the election. If that is to happen, I can tell you, and our friends from Israel, they are Zionists. They are very afraid of what is really happening there, not because of us. They said it, both of them. They are afraid that Israel, that the Zionist movement constructed, is in danger. And they are correct. Not in danger from us, but it's in danger from the rising forces led by the extreme settlers who are saying nationalism and secularism and Jewish nationalism is not good enough for them. They want religious state in the West Bank as it was suggested from their point of view to them by God 2,000 and 3,000 years ago. So they are not happy with the Zionism style of Israel as it was, demonstrated from 1948 until now. So that's why they are afraid, and they are potentially trying to do whatever they can, and I hope they succeed, with their friends in the United States to influence President Barack Obama that the danger is on the state of Israel as the Zionists suggested that. So either we succeed collectively in stopping an end to this deterioration and opening door for a meaningful process, and it cannot be opened with the settlement activities continuing. It has to stop. Or I am not here in the business of prediction. I am not a fortune teller. For those who asked, where are the red lines? When are we going to cross it or not? Nobody knows. But I can assure you, if this situation going to move from depressive situation into a gloomier situation, that is the biggest gift for extremists in both sides, seeing around us what is really happening in Syria and in Iraq. It will not be possible for the current Palestinian leadership or the Israeli government. They will not be able to control the religious flavor of the confrontation that might be unleashed over Jerusalem. And if it is unleashed over religious crimes between those who think like the Muslim ISIS and the Jewish ISIS, then God help us of where we will be going. So this is why this historical moment is very critical, and we cannot afford to continue waiting. It's either we step up to the plate now and do something, or I don't know what will happen, even inside Israel, because the extremists on both sides inside Israel, might be much more potent than the potential extremists on the Palestinian side. Because just go and see what is festering in al-Fahim and in al-Muthallath. And here I'm not only referring to extremist Jews, but also to the potential extremist Israelis, Muslims. So that's what's at stake. Very frankly, very openly. Either we step up to the plate to implement something meaningful, or it does not help us to cry about a moment that we lost, a historical moment that we lost. With that message, I hope that each and every one of us, when you leave this room, leave with double determination that make a difference this time. Don't leave us alone, the Palestinian people, to leave this, to try to solve this very complicated situation. We cannot do it alone. We are all partners together, and we invite you to step up to the plate, not only to help us, but also to help the people in the Middle East. We are a beacon of liberalism and openness. We are in the forefront of fighting against extremism. You cannot build alliances, Europeans, Americans, and others, against ISIS without justice for the Palestinian people. Factor that in, you will solve 50% of what you need to do to combat extremists. But if there is no connection, as some of you think, between justice for the Palestinian people and fighting ISIS in Iraq and Syria, you are mistaken. This is how they recruit in Belgium, in Europe, in the United States. Lack of justice for the Palestinians, they were able to recruit 25,000 in ISIS. If the war erupts on religious basis in Jerusalem, they will recruit 250,000. So therefore, we have to do something. We have to do it quickly, and we have to do it very soon. And we need to find a way to stop settlements. And then we need to have a meaningful political process, whether it's in the Security Council or an international conference, to begin the process of ending the occupation and the independence of the state of Palestine, and therefore to defend the two-state solution. We, the Palestinians, who live in misery, but we are optimistic. We are positive people. We are every day trying to do something in Na'lin, in Nabi Saleh, and everywhere. We don't lose hope. And we are continuing in that path, but we cannot do it alone. Help us, and you are partners, and we appreciate everything that you do with us. Those who agree with us, those who disagree with us, we are very transparent, we are very democratic. We bring you Palestinians to express differences of point of views. That is a sign of our strength. We bring them here, and they express differences of point of views. They criticize the leadership, they criticize this political trend, they criticize the other political trend. We are proud of that. That's what we are as Palestinians. We have differences of opinions. We bring our friends. Those who tell us do it this way, those who tell us do it the other way, we appreciate that. And we listen to everyone because we need the help of everyone. We will not leave a stone unturned while we are searching for how we can march forward to end this occupation and to have our independence. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all, and I hope you take something meaningful from this very rich seminar and conference. Thank you.
Exactly. Waiting for them. I think the interpreters have left us very long time ago, and I had wanted to express the whole committee's appreciation to everybody, all the participants, the valuable experts, the interpreters themselves, and the committee staff, but also our partners in organizing this conference, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and the League of Arab States. Last but not least, the government of Belgium that has allowed and, matter of fact, facilitated this meeting. Just to inform that the summary records of the chair, including also all the presentations made since yesterday, will be available in our website. And that the report, full report of these proceedings will be available as we prepare for this committee to make its own report to the next General Assembly of the UN. On that note, hoping to see all of you very soon in another location, hopefully in my home countries, Dakar, Senegal, where we'll be preparing the African regional meeting of this type. Wishing everybody safe journey back. Merci, au revoir. À la prochaine. This meeting is concluded. Thank you.
Congratulations. Good job.
Merci.